Donald Trump, in front of the press, contradicted the White House's spin on his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. They've been trying to tell everybody, okay, we admit that Donald and Jeffrey were friends. They were buddies. But at some point, Trump realized that Epstein was a creep. He was a creep, and he kicked him out of his club and cut him out of his life. That's their term, creep. He realized Jeffrey was a creep. But Donald Trump totally contradicted that when asked about it by reporters. Trump said that Jeffrey was pinching his employees and that was the problem. Multiple times he took Donald Trump's employees away from him, and lured them away or enticed them away, and they came and worked for Jeffrey. And that was the final straw for him. That was the bridge too far. That was the thing that made him cut off Jeffrey Epstein. No mention of finding Jeffrey creepy. Here's exactly what he had to say.
What caused the breach?
That's such old history. Very easy to explain, but I don't want to waste your time by explaining it. But for years, I wouldn't talk to Jeffrey Epstein. I wouldn't talk because he did something that was inappropriate. He hired help. And I said, don't ever do that again. He stole people that worked for me. I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again. And I threw him out of the place, persona non grata. I threw him out, and that was it. I'm glad I did, if you want to know the truth. And by the way, I never went to the island, and Bill Clinton went there supposedly 28 times. I never went to the island, but Larry Summers, I hear, went there. He was the head of Harvard. And many other people that are very big people. Nobody ever talks about them. I never had the privilege of going to his island. And I did turn it down, but a lot of people in Palm Beach were invited to the island.
Unforced error after unforced error in that little clip there. So you didn't find him creepy, Donald. You didn't like that he was stealing your staff away. And then to say, I didn't have the privilege of going to Epstein Island. And then just this desperate deflection. Don't look at me, look at Bill Clinton, look at Larry Summers. I know I said this yesterday, but I'll say it again. If everything in the Epstein files is a hoax, Donald Trump, you are telling everybody that it's a hoax, it's a hoax, it's a hoax. How do you know that Bill Clinton went to Epstein Island 28 times? How do you know what's in the Epstein files? You don't think any of it's true. You think it's a hoax. So much so that you're now, entertaining giving Ghislaine Maxwell, convicted sex offender, a pardon? She's serving 20 years for procuring underage girls for Jeffrey Epstein and his friends, of whom you were the best. Jeffrey Epstein called you his closest friend.